Hi guys, how are you? I hope you people are doing well. My name is Shivam Pandey and I am your geography mentor as you people know. And in this particular section, we will going to talk about the geography. Now guys, in yesterday's lecture, we have talked about a thing that is the continental drift. We had talked about how the present world map was achieved, but we haven't talked about the forces behind the continental drift. So in this particular lecture, we will try to study about the forces which are responsible for the continental drift and what are the evidences. So guys, in this particular lecture, this lecture will going to be the very interesting lecture. So Wagner has told us about F.B. Taylor was the very first person who tell us about the term continental drift. After that, Wagner has explained how Pangea was integrated into different continent step by step. This thing was explained by Sir Alfred Wegener. After this, Wegener has divided this particular continental drift into 5 different stages. When geographers or when scientists has asked the Wegener that, sir, what are the forces that are responsible for the continental drift? So Wegener has told about a lot many things. Okay, so let's get into that particular section, or let's get into that particular question. Okay, so we have to know about the forces. So when geographer has asked the Alfred Wegener that what are the forces, so Alfred Wegener has said that two forces were acting upon the continent. The very first force that Wegener has explained that was the pole flea force. But guys, geographer has said that this pole flea force was given by F.B. Taylor, and F.B. Taylor was also saying that the reason for the drifting of the constitution was the pole flea force, but this could not be possible because as we see the center part of the world map, that is the Atlantic Ocean, that particular part is empty. There is no continent that is present in that particular part. But according to pole flea force, the continent has to move towards the center of the earth. First, they will move towards the side of the earth, then they will come towards the center of the earth. First, they will move along the surface, then they will move towards the center. So geographers had rejected the pole flea force which was given by F.B. Taylor. So when people ask the Wegener, how come could you say that the continents are moving in a pole flea force? Because according to Wegener's theory, many continents are moving away from the away from the center, like the North America and the South America. They both were drifting away from the center. As we see, the Africa, Indian subcontinent, Australia, Antarctica, they were also moving away from the center. So according to Wegener's theory, many of the continents had moved away from the center. So how come, sir, pole flea force will be true? This work upon pole to equator, but in continental drift, the continents were moving away from the equator. This thing was given by, this logic was given by many geographers, and logic was very true or very genuine at that particular time. Okay, so they said that the pole flea force, the pole flea force is act from is act from poles to equator, but many continents are moving away from the equator. And this is very true thing. If you see the stage 1, if you see the stage 2 of the continental drift, when North and South America, the expansion of Atlantic Ocean, North and South America was moving in westward direction. So they are moving away from the equator. And this is the true thing that was given by the Alfred Wegener, this theory. So Wegener has said, okay, if pole-free force was not working upon the continent, then the next force would be working, and that is the tidal force. Wegener had said that tidal force would be working upon them. Now guys, when we talk about the tidal force, according to Wegener, two major forces are there: the gravitational pull of the moon and the gravitational pull of the sun. According to him, two major forces were working. In tidal force also, when we talk about the tidal force, in tidal force, two celestial body act upon them. The gravitational pull of the sun and the moon. So geographers or many scientists who were listening to Wegener, they were saying the gravitational pull of the sun and the gravitational pull of the moon was acting upon them. Okay, let's see how this situation come. So they said that according to the many facts and figures, sun was formed around 5 billion years ago. The formation of sun, it was around 5 billion years ago. This was the formation of the sun. We had talked about that particular thing. And the formation was moon was somewhere around 3.2 billion years ago. So this was the date of the formation of moon. But according to Wegener, his continental drift started somewhere around 240 million years ago. But the gravitational force, that is the combined force of the sun and the moon, that should be begin from 3.2 billion years ago. So why continental drift has started from 240 million years ago? What was the reason of that particular delay? So continental drift had to be started very earlier. The continental drift has to be started somewhere around 3.2 billion years ago, because at that particular time there was the combined gravitational pull of the sun and the moon, the very first thing. And if continental drift was because of the gravitational pull of the sun and moon, then why continental drift is not taking place at present time, at that time when Wegener was questioned about these particular things? So these are the things. Okay. Now guys, when we talk about these particular things, so Wegener was quiet at that particular time. So Wegener said, sir, I don't know about the forces. So Wegener was hurt with this particular questioning. So Wegener was unable to explain the tidal force, the time lag, and the pole-free force at that time. So he was unable to explain the pole-free force, he was unable to explain the tidal force, he was unable to explain the time lag, that what was happening between 3.2 billion years ago to 240 million years ago. If you are saying that continental drift was due to the combined impact of gravitational pull of the sun and the moon, then it should be begun around 3.2 billion years ago. Then why was so much delay? So this was the thing at that particular time. Now guys, the theory of Wegener and Taylor was given the status of hypothesis and was put aside. This particular theory was given the F.B. Taylor and Wegener hypothesis. Combined Taylor-Wegener hypothesis, and this was rejected. So the theory was given the title of Taylor-Wegener. The theory was the theory was given the title of Taylor-Wegener hypothesis, and it was put aside. Okay, so these are the things that we could see here. Now guys, we have seen the formation of sun. Now let's get into the thing. A small thing is there about the formation of the moon, so we should know about this particular thing also. It's a small topic, so let's talk about the formation of moon. How moon was formed. Okay, now when we talk about the formation of moon, if you see the solar system, okay, if you see the solar system, if we have this is our sun, okay, if you consider this is our sun and this is our earth, which is rotating, revolving earth, okay, and lot many planets are there. Only I'll draw those planets which are needed here, and here we have the very next planet, that is Mars. And remember one thing, between Mars and Jupiter we have the presence of asteroidal belt. There is the presence of asteroidal belt like this. Okay, here we have the presence of asteroidal belt. Okay, this is the asteroidal belt. Now this is the asteroidal belt. After this we have the presence of Jupiter. Here we have Jupiter. Now guys, the formation of the moon took place by an event, and that particular event is known as the big splat. The big splat. It's the big splat is the biggest astronomical event. It is the biggest astronomical event that has taken place in our solar system. It is the biggest astronomical event. Biggest astronomical event that took place in our solar system. It is the biggest astronomical event, the biggest. Now guys, before 3.2 billion years ago, there was not the presence of asteroidal belt. There was no asteroidal belt was present over these in the solar system. There also exists a planet between the Mars and Jupiter. There exists a planet between the Mars and Jupiter. Here we have the planet that coexists simultaneously between the Mars and Jupiter. So an asteroid or a meteoroid came from outside, and this particular asteroid get collided with this particular asteroid get collided with the huge piece of asteroid. This was asteroid, and this asteroid get collided with this particular planet, and this particular planet get fragmented into small pieces and shattered into different places. And when a small pieces were there, they get collided with their neighboring planet. The small pieces of this particular planet, when this planet get burst, the small pieces of planet get shattered and collided with the neighboring planet. So one of the piece of that particular planet gets collide with our Earth. So when this particular part get collided with our Earth, so the piece of the Earth was broken from the Pacific Ocean and it went out like this. And after this particular thing, guys, and after this, when the piece of the Earth get break through it and it came into the gravitational force of the Earth, and it started revolving around the Earth. This is our moon. Okay, and here we have that particular planet which get shattered with the, okay, so this was the scenario. So what happened between Mars and Jupiter? There is the asteroidal belt. This asteroidal belt was not before 3.2 billion years ago. When there was a planet, an asteroid gets collided with this particular planet, and this planet gets shattered into small pieces, and the fragment of that particular planets get collided with the different small planets. When the parts or when the pieces of this particular planet get collided with the different planets, so the small part of that particular planet was detached from them and started revolving because of the gravitational pull of their particular planet. So this was the scenario. Okay, and after this, when a planet get collided with Earth, so the Earth was in its initial phase, it was vertical. The axis of the Earth was 90 degree. When a planet get collided, so Earth was tilted at 24.5 degree. When the rebound force was removed, so Earth tried to take its original shape, but it couldn't be able to gain its original position. So due to this, the Earth only attains its original position till 21 degree. So Earth is oscillating from 21 degree to 24 degree. So current the angle of inclination is 23.5 degree. The current inclination of angle is 23.5 degree. So these are the things that we could see here. Okay. Now guys, after this, these are the things. Okay. And after this, from 1971 onwards till 1989, we got evidences which have proved Wegener correct. From 1971, from 1971 to 1989, we have the evidences that have proved Wegener correct. Now guys, what are the evidences? Guys, when we talk about the evidences, these evidences are categorized or divided into two different sections. Okay, these particular evidences are categorized into two different groups. We have the major evidences and we have the minor evidences which are related with Wegener. We have some major evidence and we have some minor evidence. Now guys, when we talk about the major evidence, in major evidence we have zigzag fit, we have the structural evidences and we have the scientific evidences. These major evidences are again categorized into two different parts. We have the structural evidence and we have the scientific evidences. Scientific evidences. Okay, so these are the things, structural evidences and the scientific evidences. When we talk about the minor evidences, guys, minor evidences are only supporting the major evidences. These evidences are only supporting the major evidences. They only support the major evidence. Especially they support the structural evidence. Especially they show their support to the structural evidences. Now what are these evidences? Now guys, when we talk about the structural evidences, you people have played a game in childhood, that is the jigsaw fit. You have played a jigsaw puzzle. You people have borrowed or bought a puzzle which look like this. Okay, when we combine them, we get a image. When we draw them, we got a image like this. We have always played this kind of puzzle in our childhood. Okay, so these are the puzzles like this. So we have around 750 plus evidences. We have more than 750 plus evidences, okay, regarding this particular thing. These are the structural evidences. Now in structural evidence we have the jigsaw fit. We have the jigsaw fit. this is the zigs of it. Okay, I'm telling you each and everything. Now guys, scientific evidences. These scientific evidences are nothing. They are the concept, they are the paleomagnetism. I will get into this also. This is the paleomagnetism. It is the paleomagnetism. Okay, now guys, after this, when we talk about the particular thing, when we talk about the zigs of it, at present we have more than 750 plus evidences regarding zigs of it. We have more than 750 plus evidences regarding zigs of it, which are proving Wegener as correct. Now, what are those particular evidences? The very first evidence that we have to look is the Africa and the South America. Guys, if you see, the very first evidences is of Africa and South America. If you see the boundary of Africa and the boundary of South America, they both get combined with each other. When we saw the satellite images of these particular boundary, it resembles that they would be the part of each other. So, while seeing the images, while seeing the satellite images, we saw that Africa and South America get fitted into each other. So this is the jigsaw fit example. This is the Africa. This is Africa and this is South America. Now guys, let's get into the major evidences. What are the major evidences? Guys, in Africa we have the two rivers or lot many rivers, but if we see, then we have the major rivers, like we have river Niger, which is flowing in Africa. This is river Niger. And after this particular thing, we have a next major river, that is the river Congo. So this is the river Congo. We have two rivers in Africa, that is river Niger and river Congo. Now guys, what happened? Now, when we talk about these particular things, in South America, we have the Brazilian highlands. Here we have the presence of Brazilian highlands. Okay. We have the presence of Brazilian highlands in South America. Now guys, after this, if we see the Brazilian highlands, in Brazilian highlands we have the gold mine. In Brazilian highlands we have the gold mines. Now guys, if we see the gold of different continent, there should be the minor difference between their quality. The gold of Saudi Arabia is minutely different from Indian gold, from African gold and from the South American gold. There should be the difference between them. But if we see the gold that is found in Brazilian highlands and there is some amount of gold also present in these particular river. We have the presence of some amount of. So a question arises that from where gold has came into these particular river. So gold could be from the Brazilian highlands because it has some gold mines, and the quality of gold which is found in river Niger and river Congo is exactly same as the gold of the Brazilian highlands. So it could be only possible if in past Africa and South America would be with each other. So in past, Africa and South America was the part of the Gondwana land. So this thing is proven. Okay, the very first evidence that was given by the NASA. After this, guys, when we talk about the next thing, what just happened? When we talk about the next thing, you people may see that the next evidence is of the North America and the Europe. We have the second evidence of North America and Europe. Second evidence, North America and Europe. Now guys, when we talk about the North America, so here we have the North America. Okay, like this, and here we have the European continent. Okay, here we have the Europe, like this. This is the Europe and this is the North America. Now guys, in North America we have the presence of a mountain range which is known as Appalachians. Appalachians are present in North America. Okay, we have the presence of Appalachians in North America. Okay, here we have the presence of Appalachians. Here we have Appalachians. Appalachians. And then Europe, we have the presence of Cantabrian and Pyrenees. We have two mountain ranges that are Cantabrian and Pyrenees. Now guys, these three mountain ranges are there: Appalachians, Cantabrian and Pyrenees. When we talk about these particular mountain ranges, guys, these three mountain ranges has geographical similarities. Same type of rock, same type of age. Okay. So these mountain ranges, they have geographical similarities. They both have the geographical similarities. Now guys, now. These both mountain ranges have some geographical similarities. When we talk about these particular geographical similarity, they have same type of rock, same type of rock, they have same type of age, and lot many things are there. Guys, if rock is having the same age, then they do not have the same type of rock. In case rocks are having the same type of rock, they do not have the same type of age. There should be a difference between age and type of rock. It could not be the same. Their age, their formation, age of their formation could not be the same. But here the age, and with age here the type of rock is also same, and it could be only possible if North and South America would be the part of same continent in past. North America and Europe could be the part of same continent in past. So North America and Europe was the part of which land? They both were the part of the Angara land. Okay. So these are the things. Now guys, let's move, or let's talk about the third evidence, which is also very amazing one. Okay, third evidence. I guess these three evidences are more than enough. Third evidence. We'll talk about India and Australia. India and Australia. Guys, when we see the peninsular India, when we look towards the peninsular India, and when we see the Australian honk, the peninsular India get fitted into that particular, the gap of the Australian honk where Arafura Sea is present. Okay, if you see like this, India gets completely fitted into this particular Australian like this. Like this. Now guys, we have some evidences. Let me draw this thing properly. Not like this. Just give me a minute, guys. Okay, now this is okay diagram. Now, if we see the certain thing, the very first thing is that peninsular India is get fitted into the Australian honk. Now guys, here we find the fossil of some dinosaurs. If we see the area of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, if we see the area of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, this particular area, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu of India, and Tamil Nadu. So guys, and the Queensland, this is the state of Australia that is known as Queensland. So guys, in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, we found the fossil of the animals. We found the fossils of the dinosaur or like rhinoceros. Okay. We have the fossil of rhinoceros, rajasaurus and Sinosaurus. Rajasaurus, Sinosaurus. Now, scientists were amazed that present day location of India is in the northern hemisphere and Australia is in the southern hemisphere. So, how could it be possible for the dinosaurs to travel this much long distance? So, geographers has called a person named Charles Darwin. And you people know Charles Darwin has done a lot of work in the origin of the organisms, in the origin of the animals. So geographer has asked Charles Darwin that, sir, it could be possible that two different kind of species could be found in a different location apart from each other. So Charles Darwin has said, yes, it could be the possibility only if they were having the same climatic condition, they were having the same weather-like condition. But India is in the different hemisphere, that is the northern hemisphere, and Australia is in the different hemisphere, that is the southern hemisphere. Climatic conditions are just opposite to each other. So how it could be possible? It could be only possible if in past the India and Australia was the part of the same land, and they both were the part of the same land, that is the Gondwana land. Okay, so these are the things that we could see here. These are the evidences. Now guys, these evidences are more than enough to prove Wegener correct. So geographers has revoked the Alfred Wegener's theory. According to Wegener, Australia and India was the part of same land. According to Wegener, the Africa and South America was the part of same land. According to Wegener, North America and Europe was the part of same land. So things are making sense according to Wegener. So geographers has revoked the theory of Wegener and they were working upon them, and they wants to know that, sir, what are the reason that these continents were drifting from each other. So the next very example or the next very evidence is the scientific evidence. Okay, so we have to know about the scientific evidence of the movement of continent. Okay, now guys, when we talk about the scientific concept of the movement of the continent, we have to know about the magnets. Okay, we have to know about the magnets. Guys, when we talk about the magnets, so magnets are of two types. Magnets are of two types. And what are those? What are those? We have the natural magnets. We have the natural magnets and we have the artificial magnets. Artificial or man-made magnets. We have the two different type of magnets. In natural magnets, we have the presence of lodestones. Now guys, these lodestones are simply look like a stone, like this. They also have their north and south. So they are the lodestones. Okay. Now, after this particular thing, if I draw the shape of the earth, so this is our earth. This is the axial inclination, that is 23.5 degree. And we have the magnetic pole. This is the magnetic south pole of the earth, and this is the magnetic north pole of the earth. So if we suspend the magnet, if we suspend the magnet over the surface of the earth, then the correct position of for the alignment of the magnet over the surface of the earth would be like this. Would be like this. This would be the north pole and this would be the south pole, because alike attracts and like repels. So magnetic south pole will attract the north of the magnet and magnetic north pole will attract the south pole of the magnet. So this would be the correct position of the magnet, of any magnet which is being suspended over the surface of the earth. Now guys, after this particular thing, when we talk about the correct position, this is the correct position. Magnet. Now, after this correct position, when we talk about the next thing, the magnet gets suspended over the earth. After this thing, after this particular incident, the lodestones are very beneath in the earth's surface, and they are in very huge mass. They have very huge mass. It is not possible for a single human to disturb them. It is not possible for us to excavate them. It takes a lot of manual strength to excavate them. So it is not a cup of tea for a single human being or for 10 to 12 human beings. It needs a lot of manpower to excavate that particular lodestone, because they are in huge mass. Their mass is very much. You can't imagine the shape of that particular lodestone. Their shapes are very much. So when scientific has studied the lodestone, they had find some interesting thing. Like, if this is the earth and here we have the axial inclination, that is 23.5 degree inclination, and after this particular axial inclination, after this particular thing, we have the after this particular thing, just wait. Just wait, guys. Now, okay. So we have the magnetic south pole and magnetic north. This is the magnetic south pole of the earth and this is the magnetic north pole of the. Now guys, when the lodestones of South America was studied, or when the lodestone of the different continents were studied, they were disturbed and they take almost billions of years to align with the position of the magnetic north pole of the earth and the magnetic south pole of the earth. Their position was disturbed. Now, if we see the North America, if we see the North America, the lodestone of North America was aligned with the magnetic south pole of the earth and the magnetic north pole of the earth. They were aligned. But if we see the alignment of the, if we see the lodestones alignment of the South America, so it was disturbed. It should be like this, but after that particular incident, the lodestones of North and South America was disturbed and it was like this. So the lodestone was disturbed. So it could only be possible if the South American continent was moving. So these are the different that what we call, these are the different examples or the different evidences that we could see here. Now guys, let's move forward. Now when we talk about the questions or when we talk about the thing that, sir, what could be the possible explanation of this particular thing? The possible explanation of this particular thing, it was in 1991 guys. Let me write down the thing. It was in 1991 that both NASA and it was in 1991 that both NASA and International Geographical Society agreed that the explanation should be given the status of theory. It was in 1991 that NASA and International Geographical Society was agreed that this explanation of which Wagner's explanation, that this explanation should be given the status of theory. Okay, and it is came to be known as theory of continental drift and known as theory of continental drift. Now, but we have to know about the forces. Now, in 1988, Geographical Department of Stanford University has given the theory which is known as the theory of plate tectonics. In 1988, the Geographical Department, in 1988, the Geographical Department of Stanford University has given the theory of plate tectonic, given the theory of plate tectonic. So theory of plate tectonic was given in 1988 by Stanford University. And remember one thing, before this particular thing, in 1926, Arthur Holmes, in 1926, Sir Arthur Holmes has given the theory of the interior convection current. In 1926, Sir Arthur Holmes has given the theory of interior convection current. So these are the certain theories: interior convection current in 1926 and plate tectonic in 1988. Now guys, now the International Geographical Society has combined these particular theory. So the both theory was combined by the International Geographical Society. Write down the International Geographical Society had combined these theories and has given the possible explanation of the continental drift. So the possible explanation of continental drift was given by International Geographical Society when International Geographical Society has combined the theory of the convection current and the plate tectonic theory. Now, before knowing about these particular theories, we have to know about the certain things. We have to know about the certain things regarding the interior of the earth. So guys, remember one thing, that convection current was given by whom? Given by Arthur Holmes. Plate tectonic was given by whom? Stanford University. university. When we combine these particular things, then we have the possible explanation of continental drift. When we combine these particular theories, then we have the possible explanation of the continental drift. Remember this. Now, before we have to know about the before knowing the convection current, we should know about the interior of the earth. So these are the things that we people should know about. Okay. Now guys, one more thing. If you people see in the present scenario that African continent is also developing a new geosyncline in itself. If you see the Africa, if you consider the Africa look like this, somewhat look like this, like this. So this part of Africa is cutting. Here we have the development of a new geosyncline. This could be the sixth stage of Wegener's theory. Okay. And after this, it will start moving towards the Indian subcontinent or towards the India where we have the Western Ghats. So, in upcoming future, around millions of years ago, there would be the lofty of mountains which could be higher than the Himalayas. And the climate of India will change suddenly. So let's see what would be the next step in this particular continental drift. So up till here, I have discussed the present scenario till date regarding the continental drift. So from tomorrow onwards, we have to talk about a theory or about a thing that is the interior of the earth. After discussing interior of the earth, we will move towards the convection current. So guys, this is all for today. I hope you people enjoyed this lecture. So thanks a lot. Jai Hind and bye-bye. Thank you and Jai Hind. Thank you so much guys. Bye.